Usually when I'm creating content, I like to get some ideas from other creators that are on YouTube, especially around our age of 50, over the age of 50. And the one thing that I seen a lot of people do is create content of stuff they gave up once they turned 50. And I started thinking, hey, that's a great idea of why not tell you what I gave up once I hit 50? There is no particular order of most important to least important. I'm gonna try to give just five, and stick around to the last one. I think that's the one that really hits home, and that's the one that I always strive for, and that's the one that I dream all the time about. The first thing, once I hit the age of 50, the one thing that I gave up was alcohol. So the reason why I gave, now I still, I'm not gonna lie, I still have the craving for beer. Beer is one of my favorite drinks. When I was drinking alcohol, now I drink non-alcoholic beer, but I gave that up. The reason why is I saw a lot of studies about, the effects of alcohol and what it does to you. And I did had a little bit of a health issue when it came to drinking alcohol. So that's the reason why I stopped drinking alcohol. It wasn't doing too much, it wasn't doing good for my stomach. So I gave up alcohol. It was not difficult, but it was a big shift. And you're probably seeing a lot of people online or in the world are not drinking alcohol. They're doing non-alcoholic drinks. They're called mocktails. So a lot of people are not doing that. So that is something that I realized that I didn't give up. Um, the next thing that the number two thing that I stopped doing, and both my wife and I, we stopped doing this together. One of the things that we stopped was we stopped consuming a lot of news. Now I realized what with news, it was always negative news. It was always something negative. And if you remember during the pandemic, I was working in an office environment and we were allowed to work from home and it was great, but we were consuming so much news and it was so negative. It was so much negative that we were just pumping into our head. And right after the pandemic, we stopped. Or pretty much to the end of the pandemic, we just stopped consuming news. Now, don't get me wrong, I still watch the news. I don't watch the news to the same, I don't consume it to the same level. I used to consume it when I used to drive to work. I used to consume it when I got home. I used to consume it at lunchtime. I just watch maybe 30 minutes and that's it. Or what I'll do is I'll go to one of those outlets and I just read the title, just the headlines, and that's it. I don't consume that much news. So that's something once I realized, I started giving up. I don't listen to the news. I now listen to podcasts or audiobooks while I'm driving, while I'm doing housework. Sometimes I'll listen to a little bit of music when I need to get motivated at the gym. So that's something that I gave up is the news. The one thing that I gave up is not really gave up, but I changed. I did what's called the bridge career, where I left my corporate job of 25 years to pursue being a content creator as I'm doing right now. This is one of the things that I'm passionate about. But at the end of the day, bills still need to be paid. So I stepped down from corporate. I used to work in corporate for 25 years, doing the same thing. And at one point, I lost my drive. I didn't have the passion anymore. I used to have the passion when I was younger. I no longer had the passions to continue doing what I was doing. So I quit my job. There was actually two reasons, but one of them was I was just tired of working. But I started working I still had to pay the bills and I started working in retail. And what's the kicker is that because I'm more active at this retail business, I'm in the best health in my life because I'm active. I lost about 20 pounds. I think I was When I left corporate, I was 222 pounds, and then I got my weight down to 207. So that was a big change because I was active. Now my vitals, I put back on the weight because I'm going to the gym and building a little bit more muscles, but I'm in the best shape of my life. My blood pressure, my blood sugar, everything is optimal. So that's one thing that it was a kind of good that I'm doing retail, but it is what it is. So the next thing that I started doing is I started meditating. This is a change in my thinking. So every morning before I wake up, I usually I like to meditate. Before get the day going, the first thing I do is I meditate. So I take about 20 minutes, meditate, and it gets me in a better mood. It kind of, I don't know if you've done it, especially men in our 50s. I think we have this bravado of this is, and I started doing that. So I'll wake up. So like, let's say if I have to start in the morning, I'll wake up 5, and I'll take about 20 minutes to meditate, and then get up and get my day going. So I take 20 minutes, and if you haven't done it, give it a try. Every morning before you get up, your day will start to flow a little bit. It's gonna flow with ease. So give it a try. You could try, there's a lot of free apps out there that you can do to meditate. You go on YouTube, the music that you can listen to. So it's free, give it a try. And the last thing that I changed was when I was working in corporate, I used to miss a lot of birthdays and celebrations because I had to work on the weekend, and that was consuming a lot of my time. But the last couple of weeks, it was my daughter's birthday with his girlfriend, my wife, all of us, and that was the best feeling, that I was able to do that because of the change that I've done in my life. Is that I was able to spend time with my family. It was the most important thing that I realized that I was missing. It was family time. My kids are now older, but I'm still passionate about that. That's one of the things that keeps me going. So those are the 5 things that I not just give up, but changed. Let me know in the comments, what have you gave up or what have you changed now that you're 50 plus? What's your strongest chapter now? If this resonates with you, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye for now.